An uncharted island.
Let me list all the ways you're gonna die. Rain, heat, disease-carrying flies, and we haven't started on the things that want to eat you alive.
We'll double that.
Plus a bonus if we make it back.
Is that a monkey?
Kong: Skull Island is a 2017 action-adventure monster film that revitalized the legendary King Kong franchise for a modern audience, merging spectacular visuals with thrilling storytelling. Directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts, the film was a major part of Legendary Pictures' attempt to launch a shared cinematic universe known as the MonsterVerse, which would eventually bring iconic creatures like Godzilla and Kong together. Set in 1973, the story explores a mysterious and uncharted island in the Pacific known as Skull Island, which is shrouded in mist and myth, said to be inhabited by gigantic creatures. The film combines elements of a war movie, adventure exploration, and classic monster storytelling, creating a unique tone that distinguishes it from previous King Kong adaptations. The premise begins with the U.S. government hiring a diverse team to investigate Skull Island after mysterious seismic readings suggest unusual activity in the area. The expedition is led by Bill Randa, a scientist determined to explore the unknown, played by John Goodman, whose performance provides a grounded sense of curiosity and obsession. Accompanying him is Lieutenant Colonel Preston Packard, portrayed by Samuel L. Jackson, a hardened Vietnam War veteran whose military mindset shapes much of the conflict on the island. Packard is initially portrayed as brave and commanding, but his obsession with killing Kong develops into a central theme of human hubris versus nature. The expedition team also includes Mason Weaver, a photojournalist and former war correspondent played by Brie Larson, who provides both the audience's perspective and a strong emotional anchor in the film. Her character balances intellect, courage, and empathy, often challenging the male-dominated expedition with her moral insights. Tom Hiddleston stars as James Conrad, a British tracker and survivalist whose expertise in navigating dangerous terrain proves invaluable. His calm and resourceful demeanor contrasts sharply with Packard's militaristic rigidity. Together with the rest of the diverse crew, including John C. Reilly's Hank Marlowe, a World War I pilot stranded on the island for decades. The group forms a dynamic ensemble that drives both the human story and the thrilling adventure. The journey to Skull Island is treacherous from the start, with the team flying in helicopters over dense jungle terrain, immediately establishing a sense of scale and danger. The cinematography, led by Larry Fong, emphasizes wide shots that showcase the island's colossal landscapes and enormous creatures, while close-ups capture the human struggle against these overwhelming forces. The sound design and musical score, composed by Henry Jackman, further enhance the tension, using deep, rumbling motifs that echo the footsteps of Kong and the island's other monstrous inhabitants. The first reveal of Kong is intentionally staggering, showing him as a towering, awe-inspiring presence that immediately establishes him as both protector and force of nature. As the team begins exploring, they quickly discover that Skull Island is far from uninhabited. The island's ecosystem is dominated by gigantic, prehistoric creatures, including enormous insect-like monsters, reptilian predators, and flying leviathans that attack without warning. The action sequences are intense, blending practical effects with CGI to create a sense of realism and immersion. Kong's interactions with these creatures establish him as the apex predator, a majestic and powerful force that maintains the island's natural balance. These sequences not only provide thrilling spectacle, but also underscore the thematic conflict between human interference and nature's uncontrollable power. The narrative takes a darker turn when Packard, frustrated by Kong's resistance and emboldened by his military training, becomes increasingly fixated on killing the giant ape. His vendetta drives much of the tension, setting up dramatic confrontations that highlight both human stubbornness and the destructive consequences of underestimating nature. In contrast, Conrad, Weaver, and Marlowe advocate for understanding and survival rather than conquest, creating a philosophical divide that mirrors the larger human versus nature theme. This dynamic adds depth to the film, ensuring it is not just a series of monster battles, but a story with moral and emotional resonance. One of the most memorable aspects of the film is Kong himself. The filmmakers deliberately designed him to be physically massive, standing at approximately 100 feet tall and visually distinct from previous iterations. His appearance balances realism with classic monster design, incorporating muscular anatomy, facial expressiveness, and a sense of intelligence that allows audiences to empathize with him. Kong's role is not just as a monster to be feared, but as a guardian of the island, defending it from other monstrous threats and human intrusions alike. His interactions with the human characters, particularly the stranded Marlowe, reveal a surprising gentleness amidst his overwhelming strength, providing an emotional core to the film's high-stakes action. Marlowe's backstory adds significant depth to the narrative. He was a pilot stranded on Skull Island during World War, i.e., and has lived among the island's dangerous wildlife for decades. His familiarity with Kong and the other creatures serves as a bridge between the human expedition and the untamed environment. Through Marlowe, the audience learns about the delicate balance of life on the island and the futility of attempting to dominate it. His survival skills, resourcefulness, and cautious respect for the island contrast sharply with Packard's aggression, reinforcing the film's central message about coexistence with nature rather than its exploitation. The supporting ensemble cast enhances the story's emotional and thematic weight. Chansey? Reilly's performance brings both humor and poignancy, as Marlowe recounts his years on the island with dry wit and a sense of melancholy. Brie Larson's Weaver acts as a moral compass and emotional anchor, guiding the audience through both the thrilling action and the philosophical undertones. Tom Hiddleston's Conrad provides the audience with a relatable guide, his tracking skills and calm presence offering a contrast to the chaotic energy of Packard's militarism. The chemistry among the cast allows the human story to stand alongside the spectacular monster battles, ensuring the film resonates on multiple levels. The climax of the film is a series of breathtaking set pieces that highlight Kong's power and the island's perilous environment. The humans face relentless attacks from various giant creatures, including massive serpentine monsters and flying predators, while Kong intervenes to restore balance. The helicopter sequences, jungle chases, and tense confrontations are meticulously choreographed, blending practical stunts with digital effects seamlessly. Kong's ultimate confrontation with the Skullcrawler, a massive, sinister reptilian creature that threatens the island, serves as the film's emotional and narrative apex. This battle demonstrates both Kong's strength and his role as a protector, reinforcing the audience's admiration and respect for the legendary creature. Kong Skull Island is not just a monster film, it is also a period piece set in the early 1970s, subtly incorporating historical context. The Vietnam War backdrop informs Packard's militaristic worldview and the expedition's military support, while Weaver's role as a war journalist reflects the era's social and political concerns. The production design, costumes, and props are carefully crafted to evoke the time period, creating a sense of authenticity that grounds the fantastical elements. This combination of historical detail and high-octane adventure enhances the film's immersive quality, making it feel both epic and credible. The film's trailers effectively conveyed the sense of scale, danger, and spectacle that would define the final product. Early trailers emphasized the awe-inspiring size of Kong, the diversity of the island's monsters, and the intense action sequences, generating significant anticipation among audiences. Marketing highlighted both the human characters and the monstrous threats, balancing character-driven drama with blockbuster spectacle. The trailers also teased the philosophical undertones of the story, emphasizing the tension between human ambition and nature's indomitable power. The film's marketing strategy successfully built excitement, appealing to both longtime King Kong fans and new viewers looking for thrilling cinematic experiences. Upon its release on March 10, 2017, Kong Skull Island received generally positive reviews for its visual effects, action sequences, and fresh take on the King Kong legend. Audiences praised the film's scale and spectacle, noting that it successfully blended adventure, horror, and character drama. Some critics pointed out that while the human story was secondary to the monster action, the strong performances and compelling themes elevated the film above standard blockbuster fare. The combination of practical effects, CGI, and immersive cinematography was particularly lauded, creating a sense of realism that made Kong feel tangible and alive. Box office performance was strong, with the film grossing over $560 million worldwide, cementing its success and establishing a foundation for the MonsterVerse. The MonsterVerse connection became increasingly important after Skull Island's release. The film laid the groundwork for the eventual clash between Kong and Godzilla, introducing the concept of ancient creatures existing in hidden, unexplored parts of the world. Kong's role as a guardian of his domain, the presence of skullcrawlers, and references to other monstrous entities all hinted at a larger cinematic universe. This interconnected approach allowed the film to serve both as a standalone adventure and as part of a bigger narrative, appealing to franchise fans and casual audiences alike. The successful integration of Kong into this universe demonstrated Legendary Pictures' vision for a shared monster mythology on the big screen. In terms of production, Kong Skull Island was notable for its practical effects and on-location shooting. Filming took place in diverse locations, including Hawaii, Vietnam, and Australia, each providing lush landscapes that contributed to the film's immersive jungle environments. The visual effects, handled by Weta Digital and other leading VFX studios, combined CGI with motion capture to create Kong and the other monsters realistically. Andy Serkis, known for his motion capture performances, served as a key contributor to bringing Kong life, ensuring that the creature's movements and expressions conveyed both strength and emotion. The collaboration between directors, cinematographers, actors, and VFX teams resulted in a visually stunning and emotionally engaging film experience. Kong Skull Island's legacy is significant within modern monster cinema. By blending traditional King Kong mythology with contemporary storytelling, practical and digital effects, and a strong ensemble cast, the film revitalized a classic franchise while establishing a foundation for future crossovers. Its exploration of human obsession, the consequences of militaristic aggression, and respect for nature gives it thematic depth beyond the spectacle. The film's success demonstrated that monster movies could be both thrilling and intellectually engaging, paving the way for subsequent entries in the MonsterVerse, including Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. Ultimately, Kong Skull Island is a triumph of modern blockbuster filmmaking, combining awe-inspiring visuals, intense action, and compelling characters with the timeless allure of giant monsters. It succeeds in providing both spectacle and substance, balancing thrilling set pieces with emotional resonance. Kong himself emerges as a nuanced character, fearsome yet sympathetic, powerful yet protective, anchoring the story and ensuring its lasting appeal. Through its blend of historical context, adventure, and monster mythology, the film stands as a landmark in contemporary cinema, reinvigorating the legend of King Kong for a new generation of audiences. Its achievements in storytelling, technical innovation, and world-building continue to influence monster films, proving that with creativity and vision, even the most familiar icons can feel fresh, exciting, and relevant.